Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And as a reminder, we've strayed from spiritual-based text to some self-help, and we're looking for the spirituality. As always, support the author. Okay, I got it from the library. You can get it from the library too. Buy the book. I'm gonna put a link in the description. And so let's get into the next one because it's big and juicy. Okay, so let me read you from the text. It says, suddenly the light of awareness dawned on me. I manufactured the stream of painful images because I was feeling good. Some part of me was afraid of enjoying positive energy for any extended period of time. When I reached my upper limit of how much positive feeling I could handle, I created a series of unpleasant thoughts to deflate me. The thoughts I manufactured were guaranteed to make me return to a state I was more familiar with, not feeling so good. Oof, self-sabotage, like that for me is like the number 1, number 2, number 3 problem is self-sabotage. Now, I went to a conference recently and the speaker, John Lee, was talking about this thermostat effect. Like, I don't know, I don't remember him crediting anybody else or hearing it anywhere else. But think of a thermostat, right? You have it on 70 degrees. And when you have it on 70 degrees, if it starts to go up, like for instance, you're getting more excited, you're getting a bonus, you're going on dates, and all these wonderful things start happening and the temperature starts to increase. What happens? The AC kicks on and it cools it right off, right back to 70. So you self-sabotage, right? You're like, oh, that guy, he was a little weird. Oh, I'm gonna blow this money on stuff I don't really need. So you start to do things that are against really what you do. Now, the other end of that is, let's say it starts lowering the temperature, like you lose your job or you break up with your boyfriend, like the temperature starts going down, 68, 67, 65. The heat kicks on and all of a sudden you have inspiration and you have the drive, you have the power, and you're just like, yes, I need to get back to 70 degrees because that's where I'm comfortable. So you go in this seesaw effect to stay at a balmy 70 because that's where you're comfortable, right? So you can't be too happy because then it's like, oh, that's too much responsibility. So you knock yourself down a peg or two, but you don't want to be homeless. So you're just like, oh, I got to keep fighting. But you lose that fight once you become comfortable. And that's the crux of the issue, the comfort zone. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. I heard that and I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely true. The people who become hyper successful are the people who are like never comfortable. The people who are like, this is not enough. Like, I mean, we could debate on whether that's good or not, but they're always like, no, I deserve more. I need more. This is not enough. I need to do this. I need to do that. And they have this drive to continue to like grow. It's not like, oh, I made an extra $1,000 today. Oh, well, they think, oh, I made an extra $1,000. How can I make 2? So it goes back to, what do you feel like you're worth? What do you feel like it is that in you can tolerate? How much happiness can you tolerate? How much can you actually sustain in your life? Because I know everybody gets excited when they get an extra bump in their check. I know you get excited when that cute guy or cute girl calls you. I know you get excited when they put down in front of you a big juicy T-bone steak with all the fixings and you're like, yeah, I want this, I deserve this. But then you're just like, I'm gonna gain like a couple pounds from this. Oh, I'm gonna come across as clingy. Oh, at the end of the day, at the end of the week, I'm not gonna have that extra little bonus anymore. And you feel guilty, you feel shame, you feel like, man, what did I do? Like, that's not me. I don't wanna be that person. And so, you know, really having this self-sabotaging behavior, again, the first thing you have to do is recognize that you have this self-sabotaging behavior. When you recognize that you have this behavior and that it's preventing you from reaching your goals, that's when you start to actually transform. So one of the habits that I had way back when was whenever I would get my tax returns were spent before I even got them, because you will go to like the local tax place, they would do your tax returns, and then they would tell you, hey, this is how much you're getting back, and you'd be like, sweet, what can I buy? Oh, you need to upgrade your car, or you need to take a trip, or you need to go shopping, or you just start future tripping and future spending all this money that you have that is like in direct contrast to really where you want to be. Now, could I have invested that money? Yeah, probably. I mean, it could have yielded me an extra few thousand over the years. Wonderful, right? But it wasn't in the immediate. It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna be rich tomorrow. To me, the little bit that I got was like so inconsequential, but it was consequential, because what it did was fucked with my head, because then later on I would be like, man, I'm still poor, I'm still broke, I'm still sitting here scratching my butt on the same ratty couch in the hood that I am not getting out of here. But I had such a small mindset around money, around relationships, around everything, really, if I want to be honest. But that's how it goes, right? Is that you have to learn that even these little extra drops in the bucket, they add up. And once you start getting momentum, once you start seeing like, okay, I made an extra 100 this week. Okay, how can I make 200 next week? Okay, then you conquer making an extra 200 a week. Okay, that's easy. Maybe I could do an extra 500. And then you keep going and going, and all of a sudden you're making twice the amount that you were making before, and you're just like, wow, how come I never did this before? It's because self-limiting beliefs strikes again. And so the other piece of that is starting to examine these self-limiting beliefs from the lens of what's in your history, right? Think about the way that your parents lived, your mom, your dad, and in this example, I'm talking about the people who raised you. So even if you were in a group home, even if it was your grandparents, your auntie, uncle, your older siblings maybe raised you, but what was it that you saw as a kid in the realm of money, love, and health? What was it that you saw around you that was like, yes, this is how normal is? Because if you really trace it back to your foundations, then you start to think, okay, I make about the same amount as my parents, or my idea of wealth is as much as my parents, or my ideal wealth is to not be like my parents, and see where it is that fire within you originated from. Like maybe it's not even like a blaze right now. Maybe it's just like a little tiny fire in you that you're not even recognizing that there is this connection to your parents and how they treated money. Again, parents being anybody who raised you before the age of 7, 8, 9, 10 or something like that, right? So then once you start to figure that out, then you start to think, okay, now what are some of the experiences that I have lived in order to reinforce that? Now I'm totally ripping this off from Tony, oh my God, not Tony Horton, the P90X guy, Tony Robbins, okay? Now, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to close your eyes and think, oh, JK, don't close your eyes yet, open them. So look around the room that you are in, okay? And look at everything that is blue. Look at everything in the room that is blue. Catalog it, categorize it, take a mental picture of it and be like, yes, that was blue, that was blue. I gotta get your mental list ready, okay? Are you ready? Now close your eyes. And now tell me what was red. You can't do it, right? And now you can open your eyes. But the reason you can't do it is because you're looking for something. Your brain is not projecting to these other things that it should be recalling and taking in. Now, here's a prime example for myself with my parents is, I saw them working 10, 12-hour days. I saw them working on weekends. I saw them working on vacation. I see them working all the time. Like, it was really hard to pull them away from their job. So now whenever I hear people say how hard they work, how many hours they work, the hustle culture, wake up with your laptop in your lap, that kind of hustle mentality, to me, I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna be super successful. But people who are like, oh, I only work 2-3 days a week and la la la, I'm like, oh, you're doomed to poverty. But these are things that have been imprinted in my brain since way back when. So for me, it's I have found a career that's this was before when I was an engineer, but I found a career that I needed to work 5 days a week, that I would have to travel, that, that really pushed me to my limits. And sometimes I would even work after work, and, I made really good money, but it was reinforcing those beliefs. It kept me playing at that level. It kept me playing in this comfort zone because that's what I knew, that's what was comfortable, that's what I believed. Now, if I could have found a way back then to dismantle that, find a way to make the same amount of money in half the time, I don't know if I would have taken it. I don't know if my brain would have been yeah, okay. To me, it would have been too good to be true. To me, it would have been far-fetched. That's not for me. That's for somebody else. And even if it's for somebody else, they're probably lying about it. Or it's like a Nepo baby who doesn't have to work. I would have come up with 1,000 million billion reasons why that wasn't true. So this to me is telling me, look for the things that are keeping you in your comfort zone. Look for the things that are keeping you playing small. Okay, guys? So again, support the book. I'm going to put a link in the description. I'm going to put a link to my book because journaling, prayer, meditation have been fundamental in my change, and I think you guys will really get a kick out of it. Now, on my YouTube, you guys also see videos of my podcast, but I'm also going to put a link to the Spotify version of it so you can listen to Andy in your car, and that's, really the best that I could do. Okay? Love you guys.